Well, I know for a fact Bitcoin was not founded by some Japanese guy in a cave, but that's all horseshit. Who are the two countries that would benefit most by the disruption of the U.S. economy? China and Russia. China banned Bitcoin 4 or 5 years ago. That leaves one, Russia. I bet a lot of money that's where it came from. Most of your listeners have no self-esteem. Most of your listeners have zero self-confidence. Most of your listeners are cunts. I had my first Rolls Royce when I was 25. I wasn't trying to build a brand when I was 25. I just was trying to suck tits and get, fuck as many women as I possibly could. But 25-year-olds don't want to do that anymore.
They want to ride on electric bike.
Tony Robbins doesn't tell people they're dumb, okay? The Wolf of Wall Street doesn't tell people because they're trying to sell something.
So they are polite because they don't want to offend their future customers. So you choose...
And I don't give a fuck. As soon as she cries on your shoulder,
I melted.
You're fucked.
Nice to see you again, this time in Poland.
Yep, thank you very much. How can I help you?
We met last year and we published our interview on my YouTube channel. It's the most popular video on my channel at all. And it's super interesting because people love this interview, but at the same time, a lot of them hate this interview. And we also received some bans from Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, blocking some parts of the material.
And when I swear?
It doesn't say exactly. It says hate speech.
Hate?
Yeah. There's nothing I see as a hate speech towards Polish people.
I haven't had any of my... That's interesting, okay.
It's super interesting, right? But the most controversial part from the comments was you promote hard work. It surprised me as well when I read the comments that people are surprised you have to work hard to get to the goal, to get to the place you want to be. Could you please tell a bit more, how do you understand the hard working? It's only about hard, long hours? And what's the difference between working hard, working smart, or you work hard and smart at the same time?
Now remember, I don't believe that you asked me this or I said this when we talked last, but I've been to the former Soviet bloc countries when there was still an Iron Curtain. Okay? I was here in 1951 after the war ended, World War II, with my father, who was an Army officer, intelligence officer, and I got to go into the Iron Curtain countries. I was back in the middle 60s as myself as an intelligence officer for the Army. And so the countries were still pretty much flattened. And I've been to Warsaw before. And I've been here after the wall fell, and I saw businesses, some businesses were successful and some businesses weren't successful. Many of the former Iron Curtain countries like Poland were not, many of the kids, the entrepreneurs or the would-be entrepreneurs weren't successful because they didn't put enough hard work. And by hard work, it's a combination of things. Number one, it's countless 100 to 120-hour work weeks. I was interviewed in Forbes. I was Forbes under some award I got a year or two ago, and they asked me what the single most thing that I could blame or I could account for my success. And I said instantly, the countless 100 to 120-hour work weeks. For 10 years straight, almost to the day, I worked between 100 and 120 hours and never let up, to the exclusion of my family, my God. My family went on trips without me, vacations without me. Okay. But today, this generation, your generation, and a generation before you have been not born, but have been raised to feel entitled. They think that my generation, which is partially true, we ripped the financial skin off the planet. And we did. There was no question about that. I'm not denying it, and none of the other guys would deny it. But the fact that the world financially, and Poland is catching up, all the Iron Curtain countries are catching up, without hard work will make a dumb idea make money. You can't say that about anything else. Hard work will make a dumb idea. As Warren Buffett says, not just Warren Buffett, he says, I'd rather have a guy with a bad idea and a plan than a smart guy with no plan. And the plan is merely ours. And the kids today, and when we talked last, they're afraid to engage in self-deprecation. In other words, they don't want to lose face. They don't want people to make fun of them, etc. Okay, it goes from clothing, etc. And the guys that I know don't care. Do you think Elon Musk cares what the fuck you think about him?
Not at all.
Do you think Steve Jobs, who I knew, cares?
He doesn't know who I am.
Okay. Donald Trump, full disclosure, who I know. Do you think he... Only if you can vote. In America, Donald Trump cares. But today, with Facebook, amongst the other social medias, and I'm surprised about what you told me about getting banned, because I've said some pretty goddamn outrageous things on the internet and never gotten banned before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that just goes how wokey Poland is. That just goes to show you how snowflake Poland is.
Like it was too hard for them to listen.
Well, so don't listen. I mean, that doesn't help you any for me to say don't listen. But I mean, this isn't for everybody. I mean, it isn't. When I talk at the school here in a few hours, which is my third university, I spoke in 2017 at Krakow, and I spoke at Warsaw Technology something or other in 2017, and they were snowflakey then. I'll give you an example. We had a Polish kid then, 2017, while he was still going to school using the QLA methodology. He made 1.1 million euros while he's a student.
And everyone asked about the name of the guy.
No, nobody asked.
On my videos, I'll ask you about this last time.
Well, no. But
who's the guy?
In person, not one single person asked.
They weren't curious at all.
No. Well, they were afraid
to listen to hear the answer
because it was hard work.
Okay.
And Michael, who's now married, he's married then. He's got 3 kids. He's got oodles of money. He still lives here in Poland. But the same thing when I was at Oxford. We had a kid that had made hundreds of millions. Not one Oxford student asked him what his name was, who he was.
No one asked.
No, they don't ask. And I've got 2 or 3 other schools, same thing. University of Pennsylvania, Wharton. I mean, where Elon Musk and where Donald Trump went to school. Mm-hmm. They don't ask the names. Because if the kid who's your age tells you 115 hours a week for 5 years and you can have $82 gazillion or euros or zots, that's not what you want to hear.
So you have to work hard, have a proper plan. Because
you don't even really need a plan. All you need is hard work and be able to pivot. Just because
little
you think
twists.
No, that's morphing. Pivoting is from one industry. It's from IT to construction. Morphing is IT.
IT, games.
Exactly. Just because you think it's a good idea, or your audience thinks it's a good idea, doesn't mean that it is a good idea. Whereas some of the ideas, i.e. Zuckerberg, and in that regard, I think he's done a disservice to the kids because his idea was a great idea. It took traction immediately. The great thing about the internet, about social media, is you get your feedback almost immediately.
Straight away.
So you either know it works or it doesn't work. And you can tweak it from now until the next 10 years. And if it didn't have attraction in the beginning, it probably never will get attraction.
So you're saying not to fall in love with the ideas, just put it on the market and see what sticks to the wall and then go deeper.
Is you can test and retest, and you can tweak it, which in modern sophisticated words, I mean morphing it, changing it a little. Okay, it was a redhead. No, now it's a blonde. Now it's got dark hair. Blah blah blah. But the kids don't want to do that.
So, what would be your advice to track the big money? Because I've observed people in my age, like 40 more or less, they've got companies that have some success, and sometimes they stop. When they reach some goals, they stop. It's okay, it's enough for me. And I observe that for you, enough doesn't exist, right? Am I correct? You always want to be...
Well, no. When I started coaching 30 years ago, and I started doing it, I did several things. Number one, I don't compete against you. So I'm not rolling up anything. I'm either, for a few cases, I'm your chairman, but I don't compete. I also sold all my stocks, bonds, real estate, because I don't want to compete. We have no other assets other than cash. Cash. And whereas all the other guys are in competition with you. Okay? Plus, I have no upsells. Or, we started giving all our material away about 20 years ago because I didn't want to hear. We went from the most expensive product online to zero because all we heard, plus customer service. Well, this broke. Can you send me this? And I got tired of customer service. So we just said, if we give everything away, there is no customer service, which is not true because we still help people because they can't even find why. The best thing on my website is my book for free, in English, for free. I can't find it. What are they, morons? I mean, if a 25-year-old kid can't find something, something's not right.
That surprised me. We publish books and people ask me, hey, where I can buy your book? Where I can buy Dan Peña book? Like, Google, Dan Peña book, boom, first link, done. Why people ask such dumb questions?
Because they're dumb. See, I've said that all along, but nobody wants to hear that. Tony Robbins doesn't tell people they're dumb, okay? The Wolf of Wall Street doesn't tell people because they're trying to sell something.
Okay.
They're dumb. People are inherently not too bright.
So they are polite because they don't want to offend their future customers. So you choose.
And I don't give a fuck.
That's why people want to work with you.
Well,
some of them
well, some
are willing to pay.
But you got to have thick skin. I mean, my wife called me rhino skin. Oh, you can't hurt my feelings. I mean, no matter what you say about me, I don't give a shit. But I've been like this since I'm 6, 7 years old.
Okay.
Nothing's changed. But see, I have self-esteem. Most of your listeners have no self-esteem. Most of your listeners have zero self-confidence. Most of your listeners are cunts.
And now some of them thinking that you are this cunt, but you are telling I know, but you are telling the truth. That's your problem, that you hear my voice and you feel offended by some guy sitting in the studio.
Well, I used to say from 1993 to 2005-ish, I used to say, if I don't piss you off, if I don't hurt your feelings, I'm not doing my job.
So your job is to put some salt on a wound and then...
No. My job is to create the wound and then put salt on the wound.
So it means you see better picture of myself than I see for myself, right?
Well, I know. We created $1 trillion, a million, way more than a million millionaires, $1 trillion. We're up to $2.3 trillion. Okay. And we have about 50 or 60, maybe 70 superstars. I mean, superstars, okay? Klaus Kleinfeld, who did the biggest deal, Saudi Arabia, Neom, $500 billion, okay? We got a few of those, okay? But those guys are few and far between. I mean, but I mean, when you make a little lady in Bangalore, living in a village outside Bangalore, India, $10,000 a month on e-commerce, which is a lot of rupees, I changed her life forever. Her kids can go to school. Her 15 or 20 or 30 extended family can eat. Okay? I didn't start this to do that, though. I couldn't give a fuck less about that old lady living in a dirt floor. I didn't. But I now know in the last 20, 25 years, 20 years of the 30 years, is you want to change the world, I'll show you how to make money, tons of money, with no money, then you go change the world.
Start with that.
Then it's up to you, okay? Now, I indirectly, I get credit for that, but I didn't start. I would be a disingenuous, lying old man if I said that's how I started. But by definition, when you create as much wealth as I have, most of it, not all of it, most of it has gone for good things. Now, it's a good thing because you can pay your mortgage. It's a good thing so you can put new clothes on your kid at school time. Okay, yeah, okay. Is it a good thing for me? No, okay. I don't think about that, okay? Because when I needed more money when I was younger than you, I went out and got another job. What's the job I can make the most goddamn money without robbing banks? Wall Street. You know, it was easy, you know, and they gave me an office, they gave me a phone, they gave me 2 secretaries. But I mean, in this country, in Poland, you don't have a Wall Street equivalent. You have investment bankers, I know for sure, because I know some of them. Okay. But an investment banker here in Warsaw, if you really want to be an investment banker, you go to London and New York, because that's where the real money is.
You follow the money.
Correct. Well, I don't know who said that first, but whoever said it was absolutely correct. follow the money. But the kids are lazy. They just are. They're just, I see these, I want to be a billionaire when they used to come in the 90s. A guy makes, 80, 90, 120 million, okay? His body starts to slow down, okay? He's on his second or third wife if he's got wives. He's got one kid that's a crack heroin whore, and then, well, shit, because you can't be everything to everybody. You can't. I was a shitty father. I'm a mediocre grandfather. One of my sons, who's successful, youngest son, he's the father I should have been to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I gave him nannies and governesses, okay? My daughter is successful in a Fortune 100 company, not married. She says all men are cunts. You can't hardly find a real man, Dad. And she says that dating on the internet, which I don't know anything about that, although I know the sites of...
swipe left, swipe right.
Yeah. And she says, I can't take. For a year, I tried dating on the internet, and I mean, geez, they're all wusses. But most men are cunts. They're just wusses. See, you want to be liked. I want to be effective. There's a big difference. There's a dichotomy. It's like the difference between... yeah.
The thing I remember that we were, when I was leaving the castle this year, I saw the guys coming for a seminar, and I looked into their eyes, two of them, and I saw fear. They were scared.
It should be.
They didn't know what to expect.
They should be.
So what?
Although we give them, people ask, we have these form letters that how do you get the most out of the seminar? You're paying $35,000. How do you get the most out of it? And we have all this detail. The more detail they get, the more they're afraid. We tell them to watch 2 programs on TV: Succession and Billions. Okay. And during the seminar, where appropriate, I bring up, you saw Succession, you saw the old man, Brian Cox, who I know. And what'd you think about it? He was a selfish, ruthless old bastard. He hit on his own daughter, which is true, but in the series.
Yeah.
Could you do any of the things that he did? No. Would you do anything? Everybody says no.
So why are you here?
That's exactly right. Why the fuck are you here? You just pissed your money down a rat hole.
And the second one, Billions, with Bobby Axelrod, this one?
Correct.
I love it.
Yeah.
And what do you think about this happy end at the last episode?
No, I haven't seen the last episode.
It was too sweet, too
No,
pink,
but I know better than that. That's all bullshit. But I mean, the kids don't want to believe. Steve Jobs, who changed the world, Elon Musk changed the world, right?
Yeah.
I think everybody would agree to that. Yeah. They're both assholes.
As a person, but they don't care. They don't care at all. But people want to spend time with them. They want to make business together with them.
And Elon and Steve, I may be one of the last person to ever see Steve alive, but they didn't have time for anybody else. They had one agenda, and it was their agenda. They didn't give a shit. But I mean, not all, but almost all those guys are like that. But you want the trappings of their success. You want, you talk about global warming and climate change, which I'm a big expert on. But I mean...
You're known for this.
Well, what's this girl that's the famous singer now running around the country?
Taylor Swift?
Yes.
With a private jet?
She's got one of the worst footprints, or whatever you call it, carbon footprints.
Carbon.
Okay, on the planet. Everybody loves her, okay?
Because she's so sweet.
Yeah, well, and I don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
But I mean, but all those people are so, like P. Diddy, this new pedophile guy, the young black guy, that they're all getting on his case about, sleeping with little boys and girls. P. Diddy or...
I don't know.
Yeah.
P. Diddy, the musician, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a scandal. He's in jail. He supposes he's got movies of he, Obama, and Michelle, a threesome. I mean, they're going to open up. I mean, it's the biggest scandal since I don't know what in America. But anyway, he kicked people.
Literally.
I mean, literally, physically. Now, I'm accused of doing that in the 90s. I will not confirm nor deny. But I used to hit the people at the seminar. Fucking hit them. I mean, we had a Swedish Special Forces guy in 1997-ish. He said, I want to leave here with something I can remember. And so the 18, 20 people going, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him. As, you know, I said, well, I can give you something that'll probably last you 5-6 months. And so I broke his jaw. I hit him. I broke his jaw, and his jaw was wired for 4 months. You're never going to forget me.
And now like 50% of audience would comment like, hey, why you invited such a guy who's broken other people's jaws? Like, I'm trying to learn something from him. I'm trying to get some golden nuggets and implement to my life. That's my goal of talking with you, right? And
You have kids?
Yeah, 2. I know.
How old are they?
3 and 6.
They have a chance yet to be high performance.
Yeah.
A chance.
It's my job
But
not
having
to...
met your lovely wife who just left,
Yeah.
and you, it's a small chance.
Is it?
Yes.
So any advice? What
No,
to do?
I don't give it. I don't. It's all on my website.
Okay, gonna go and download the PDF
I mean,
and let
believe me. I mean, the first, the boy or girls, or what are they?
Boy is younger, 3, and girl is 6.
As soon as she cries on your shoulder,
I melted.
you're fucked. Yeah, and my daughter, who's 38 yesterday, she says when she's about 6 or 7, the head governess, Ruthie would tell her, says, that doesn't work with Mr. P. He's not interested that you put tears on his suit.
Okay.
And she said, well, what interests him? And she says, you going up and being successful. She didn't know at 4, 5, 6 what that meant. Okay. She went to the best schools, the best this, the best that.
Is she successful now?
Yeah. For her 38-year-olds, I mean, she's in the top 0.5%.
Okay.
But she works for a big corporation.
Mm.
And she has a portfolio of morons and, that...
Do you agree it's quite easy to be in like the best 20%, but super hard to be in the 0.5%? Because
the top 20% is nothing.
Yeah, but still,
I mean, you might as well be Polish. You might as well be Polish. I mean, so what? Let's just say that Poland is the top 20% of the other former Iron Curtain countries. So fucking what?
So even if
that and $6 will get you a cafe latte at Starbucks. Or how many slots?
Złoty, Polish złoty. Around, it's like 4 or 5 pounds for a coffee in Starbucks.
Okay, so how many of that is in Polish money?
Around 20-ish, play something.
I try to figure out how you say that with your currency.
Złoty.
No, plural.
Złoty, this one way.
It's
Złoty.
one word. Okay.
1 złoty, 2 złoty, 3 złoty.
Later today that I'm...
Złotych.
I made 1.5 billion...
Złotych, you would say złotych.
In an hour.
Okay.
1.5 billion in an hour.
And also people compliment the thing that I visited your castle. They were so impressed with the castle, with the cars and so on. And I'd like to ask you about this like surface of your brand, because you are known for your...
Okay, say it again. First of all, the people that come to the castle, 75% of them don't know which fork or knife to use. For real. We give them a little thing, show them.
So if people don't know how to eat a meal in a castle, they won't be...
They're intimidated.
Because
that's why it's there. That's the whole reason we do it. I can do the seminars at hotels.
So the main reason of buying castle was to...
No. The main reason I wanted to retire there and play golf. It's near the home of golf. It's near St. Andrews. And when I retired in my late 30s, I just didn't want to do anything. I made a lot of money. I just wanted to play golf.
And why you choose Scotland?
Because it's the home of golf. The first golf course ever made or created was at St. Andrews in the 1400s. The castle was built in 1468, the main part of the castle. And I just wanted to, as you would say, chill out.
Chilling.
I didn't say
I'm chilling in my castle.
I didn't chill too long. But okay, the question is,
people saw castles, saw nice cars. So is it part of your brand? Is like a surface?
No, that's me. I had my first Rolls Royce when I was 25.
Because you love...
I wasn't trying to build a brand when I was 25. I just was trying to suck tits and get, fuck as many women as I possibly could. But 25-year-olds don't want to do that anymore. Or they don't admit it.
They want to ride on a electric bike.
Fuck. They shouldn't have been born.
So would you advise such a thing for my 3-year-old boy to go to goals like this?
There's a book by Dr. Spock, is Children Raising. That's not the right word.
Yeah.
And my mother, by accident, in 1946, I was 1 year old, was at a supermarket. And in a supermarket, they have you can buy gum at the cash register.
Like
and stuff.
£1 book, yeah.
Okay, well, there was a book there, a Reader's Digest, that had a abbreviated of this book. Okay, she picked it up by accident, and then she read it, and then she got the book, and she raised me by that book from 1946 until I left home when I was 17. And and I recommend it to the self-esteem, whether your kids are going to be worth a shit or not, is the first 6 or 7 years, maybe 8. If your kids are immature like I was an immature kid, maybe even 9 or 10. Okay, I believe in Santa Claus when I'm 10 years old. Okay, I was in a lot of fights about that. And she raised me by that book, and so I had her loving and nourishing, like you read in like Disneyland, that kind of mama. And then I had a hard dad, tough love. And he didn't have a dad. His dad died before he was born. And so between the two, the mix, I don't know if it's perfect, but I had high role models. He was a very prominent guy, and then he became a CIA assassin, etc. But I just spent a week with my kid brother on the Mediterranean, sailing on a big yacht, and we were sitting there. He's 65, but he's my kid brother, and we were both saying he had reminded me of stories I'd forgotten, and some of the just things that happened to us as children, especially me because I was older, and everybody in the neighborhood was afraid of my dad. They called. Not everybody in my neighborhood had a phone. They went to somebody's house with a phone and called before they came to my house.
They were afraid.
A guy who's a big hero from the Vietnam War, guy who was just on the yacht with me with some of my friends, Bud Grubbs, battle hero. He says, I used to stand closest to your mother when I was there because I thought that your dad wouldn't hit me if I was standing next to your mom.
And you might also heard the sentence, okay, I hear it in Poland, I'm doing this for my family.
No, I don't. I've heard it, sure.
I'm got this business, I'm working long hours, that's
you
for my family.
You make a sacrifice for your family.
Yeah.
But
it's
no,
bullshit.
But no, yeah, well, no. If they don't want to do it for themselves, then they shouldn't be doing it for their family.
So the real answer is like, I'm doing for myself and I'm paying the price of not being with family. That's the
There's no work-life balance. There's work-life consequences. And those, there's work-life choices and they have consequences. If you're gone all the time, like my dad was, and like I was, okay, you don't have the discipline of father. But my dad's discipline was so harsh, so like a prison warden. When we buried my father 20 years ago, my kid brother still thought that he was going to come out of the fucking grave because he had just done something that my dad didn't like, but he was dead now.
He was still afraid of him.
And we talked about that over many drinks, and we celebrated his 106th birthday. We were together, and he says, what would Dad be doing here? Dad would have already complained about the drinks are too weak. Hey, put some fucking alcohol in this thing. That's what he used to say. And now when you get a drink, it's like a kindergarten guy or drinks used to call them 3 fingers for a reason. That's about, this has a false spot. No, it doesn't have a false. That's about right for a vodka, straight up. 3 fingers. But now they don't do that. And now guys aren't even getting drinking. Now they're drinking these foo-foo drinks.
You know what? I don't drink at all.
God bless you. God bless you, I drink to excess. But I would bet you $1 million, or no, that's not any money. No, Zloty.
Zloty.
I bet you $100,000 that my bloods are better than yours. I know. Do I look almost 80? Do I sound almost 80?
No. I'd like to have such energy when I'm your age, at least. That's high.
You should hire.
Yeah.
You've got 40 years to work. Yeah.
I'm 40.
I'm twice as old as you.
Yeah.
I have shoes older than you. These shoes, no, they're not 40 years old. I have a couple pair of shoes that are 40 years old.
You've got kids in my age, right?
Well, no, our kids 42, 40, 38.
What I'm saying. Yeah, what I'm saying.
Man,
And the last thing I want to ask you, because people also were asking me comments about this, Bitcoin.
What do you want to know?
Because you said that
I'm going to answer Bitcoin. Okay. When Bitcoin came out 16, 17 years ago, it was for pennies. I have 2 Romanian brothers that started buying it in pennies. And they're Bitcoin billionaires. Okay. Now, and I don't believe, or I know for a fact, Bitcoin was not founded by some Japanese guy in a cave. That's all horseshit. Who are the 2 countries, or who are the people in the world that would benefit most by the disruption of the U.S. economy, United States economy? I'll answer for you. China and Russia. Okay. China banned Bitcoin 4 or 5 years ago because it was fucking their economy up. Okay. That leaves one.
Like underground money.
Russia. I bet a lot of money that's where it came from.
Okay.
Now, I met one other guy, a Bitcoin billionaire, who I've said this many times. He said when we were on his podcast, "How do you know that?" Because I know people. He says, "You're right." Now, he says, I don't say this. He knows the guys in Russia actually behind it. I know it's Russian, but I don't know the exact. I'm sure Putin had something to do with it, but because nothing happens in Russia that Putin doesn't have his.
So during our conversation, I hear like many times, like you are saying that people are saying completely different things when they are on the mic, on the screen, and just behind, you can hear the truth.
It's like when they teach somebody's got a live mic and they get caught saying something, whether it's the president or whoever. But I sound the same. I had my 70th birthday 9 years ago. It was a big 3-day event, black tie, blah, blah, blah. My daughter came up to me. She says, Daddy, I've been asked 4 or 5 times, is this really how you are when you're just normal? And she said to me, now I know why you call them meatheads. They're fucking morons. Yeah. I can't remember since I'm 1 year old you being any different. This is how I am.
Like,
why would I change when I've been so fucking successful? Why? Is his model better? Is his model better? No. If you can show me that's been as successful as I have, that hasn't been rough as nails, I've only met 2 people in my total career, high performance guys that didn't say fuck, shit, cunt. Only 2.
Okay. And hundreds, like I think about thousands people ask me.
Thousands
about think after this interview, you weren't scared? You weren't afraid of going to the guy? I said I was, but I did it. And from my point of view, that's what they respect. I was able to come to your place, say hello, stand in front of you, sit with you in your castle, and we had nice conversation.
What room did we do it in?
Second?
What room were we in?
On the right, with the frogs on everywhere, the round one. We went east side and straight right.
Okay, was it the library? No. Did I actually do it in my office?
We passed the library and go on the left. Am I correct, Sebastian?
Library.
Next to the library.
The drawing room.
Yeah.
Dining room?
Something like that. The biggest room in the area where we are.
When you enter the castle,
okay,
we turn right, and then there was
a nice view on the garden behind the camera.
Could we see the lake and the swans?
Yes.
Okay, that's the drawing room. Okay.
Yeah, and because they are too soft, too weak to do it by their own, to invite such a guy for a interview, they're too weak. That's the case, right? So we could sum up this conversation by saying people are too weak. That's why they're not.
Yeah, I mean, in the real world, Putin should not be able to get away with what he's doing.
But we are not in the real world.
We're in the
politics.
No, it's beyond geopolitical.
Okay.
Now, if NATO really worked,
it will end it
Okay, I was going to show tonight when I talk to the students. I have a film I like to use. It's 3 minutes long. If somebody makes a mistake pushes the atomic button, the first one. In 42 minutes, a little less than 7 billion people are gone. Takes 42 minutes. There'll be about between 2,000 and 2,200 rockets go off in atomic bombs. It will disintegrate about 7 billion people in 42 minutes.
What about in 84 minutes? Okay. So I'm looking at the time. We have to finish. And thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
For second interview. And we're going to see each other on Koźmiński University in an hour and a half.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see how it works.
See if I can make anybody cry. If I start going through the audience, and it's easy to make people cry. It's harder. I haven't seen the setup. It's harder when you're up, but when I walk amongst them, I can make them cry. I can make them piss their pants. I can make some
by just looking in the eye.
I grab them
without the tie. Or...
Well, they probably won't have ties.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, okay. I grab them by the shoulder. The world's fucked. We're through. Homo sapien is through.
So
why don't you worry about the asteroid that's going to hit us in 2140? Why?
I don't think about it.
All this is for naught. Doesn't matter Ukraine. Doesn't matter Gaza. Doesn't matter Putin. Doesn't matter Trump. In 2140, not 2%, 0.5%, an asteroid's going to hit the Earth. The asteroid's about as big as Manhattan. It's going to be another life-changing, world-changing, world-ending, like 65 or 66 million years ago that hit when all the dinosaurs died.
And some people will say, okay, so I have to be a high-performance person. And
in the meantime.
The other one will be saying, like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, a lot of people are saying they don't give a fuck. We could solve poverty in Africa in one day. If the 100 richest guys all gave 5-10 billion, it would take 25 years to implement, but we could solve poverty in one day. But we don't want it to, because people have other agendas.